Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we have been waiting for, the great debate. Are the Philippines a third world country? The question has been posed, the stakes are high, and we're all on the edge of our seats. Who will come out victorious in this battle of wits? Will it be the clueless TikTokers spouting nonsense, or will it be us, the enlightened folks, armed with the facts? The tension is palpable. Folks, let's dive in and settle this once and for all. Now, I know that I would rather live in the Philippines than in America. As an Aussie, I'm used to living with dangerous creatures, like snakes and spiders and drop bears. But getting shot in America worries me deeply for a first world country. I want to say categorically that the Philippines is not a third world country, and I'm going to prove it. Now, by the first definition of what originally a third world and a first world and a second world country was, Philippines is clearly not a third world country. You see, originally, to be a first world country, all you had to do in about 1950 was to be aligned with America. And the Philippines was clearly aligned with America. So they are a first world country. To be a second world country, it was all those that were aligned with the USSR. And a third world country was anybody who was not aligned with either of these things. And when you hear of third world countries, do you really think of palm trees and beaches and, fruity drinks with umbrellas, right? No, you think of places where people are struggling to get by day to day. Places where people have to work so hard that they don't have time to relax on those beaches. Instead, they're working 12 to 14 hours a day just to make ends meet. And forget about affording rent. It's like the struggle bus has hit a pothole and broken an axle. When I look at America, I see the very same things. I see people struggling day to day. I see people begging on the streets. And I see poor people who work very long hours and still can't afford to pay the rent. Now, I'm not denying there aren't many poor people in the Philippines, but there are many educated people as well. Many people who've worked their way up from absolute poverty to well-to-do middle class. And when it comes to healthcare, the Philippines are putting America to shame. In the Philippines, the poor people can afford to go to hospital, while in America, it's like the healthcare system is missing a few pieces of the puzzle. You have to wonder if America, which is such a wealthy country, why it can't afford to provide basic healthcare for its population and citizens. It's like they're trying to run a marathon with one leg tied behind their back. Maybe America should take note of how the Philippines do things in terms of healthcare and looking after its people. After all, when it comes to healthcare, the Philippines are a lot further ahead than the American people. And wow, the Philippines know how to keep their education game strong. It's like they have a degree for everything. You want a job at the bank? Better hit the books first. You want to work at a shopping centre? Better get ready to study. It's like they've turned education into a contact sport. And let's not forget language skills. In the Philippines, it's common for people to speak 2 or 3 different languages. How many in America can say that they actually know how to speak 2 or even 3 languages? I know in Australia, I can only speak English, but I'm working on it. Meanwhile, in America and Australia, it's like the people can barely speak their own language. And who needs a therapist? When you've got a Filipino family, they're rich in family life and know how to take care of their own. They don't toss their elders out into a nursing home like a hot potato. They cherish them. They respect them. Meanwhile, In Australia and America, it's like family is a lost and forgotten art. It's like people are so busy chasing the American dream or the Australian dream that they forget the true value of family. It's like we've traded family time for a gold watch and a corner office. How many people here in the West end up living very lonely lives? Well, the joke's on us, for the Filipino people know the true value of family, and they're living proof that money can't buy you happiness. Perhaps that's why the Pinoy people are the happiest people in the world. So no, the Philippines is not a third world country. When it comes to the things that matter in life, the Filipinos have it down pat. They're richer than the West when it comes to the things that count, like kindness, care, love of music, and on top of this, many Filipinos are doing pretty well financially too. So it's safe to say that the Filipino people have a wealth of riches where it counts. The Philippines is not a third world country.